On today's show, a new adventure on the ice, a walleye sleepover, to finally answer the question, do giant walleyes wait to bite until the wee hours before dawn?
There you go. Nice one.
Up next, of all the things to do on the ice, here's an idea. Kiteboarding's the game, and it's not tame. And our Minnesota-bound classic this week deals with none other than Mr. Walleye himself, Gary Roach, as we hit the ice in search of not walleyes, but panfish. Those stories and more, next.
All right.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hi everybody, Raven and I welcome you to the show. Our first story is about ice fishing. Now if you live down south, you think ice fishing is a crazy thing to do. But think about it. You can go in an ice house, spend the night, and maybe catch a giant walleye. What's wrong with that?
Driving on ice at 10 below never felt so good.
Today is not a day that you want to be fishing on the ice. Look at that house. It's pretty snazzy.
That's because I get to fish with this guy. I call him the Kardashian of ice fishing.
I like it.
Yeah, so this is the new lodge.
No matter the temperature, Matt Peters' fish house is always styling at a cozy 70 degrees.
As you can see, there's a range and cooktop. It's got our guest, Tony Grosskreutz, our featured guest.
This is like home.
Yeah.
Only difference, there's holes in the floor.
Oh, we got one.
Oh, yeah.
And fish swimming below.
Got him?
Oh, yeah, nice one. Big one.
Matt prefers hand-to-hand combat.
You need help?
No, I
You got him? There we go.
Just lip hooked him. That there, folks, is the secret hook. That little hook that has no paint left on it, that's all chewed up, pretty much the deal.
Well done, well done.
What do you think, buddy? We got one.
I know, we're not even supposed to catch one yet. It's not even dark.
That's all right. That's what we come to do. We're gonna get him back in, and there she goes.
A warm house and good fishing spot, yes. But Matt's secret lies in his timing.
If somebody just said you get a 4-hour window for your best chance of catching big walleyes, it would be from 10 at night to 2 in the morning. Well, we're gonna make a little appetizer.
If anyone would know, it would be Matt. His addiction for midnight walleyes started early on.
I grew up on Lake Waconia, right on the shores of Lake Waconia, and I was probably 12 years old, 13, 14. I had a small little 6x8 fish house my brother had built, and it had a little plywood bed on it, and that's where it all started, and I started sleeping in there.
Over time, his small shack has grown. Today, Matt is one of Minnesota's hottest fishing guides, creating a big fish lifestyle on ice.
Not that small either.
We got heat and we can eat. What more do we need, you know? Good friends and good buddies, and we'll catch a few fish.
Then, our walleye sleepover begins, waiting for that magical sound.
There's something about a rattle reel. You sleep pretty light out here, and you're kind of always just a little bit on edge, being ready for a bite.
Hey, we got a rattle. Whose turn is it?
Nice one. Nice one, buddy. Walleye. Love it. Been waiting for you. Where have you been? Nice fish.
Down the hatch. Even at 20 below, we wake to a warm house and a sizzling skillet.
This is living on the lake right here.
Our peaceful morning is quickly cut short.
Oh! I gotta get some drag on him. I still got him. He's just head pumping that hard. Yeah, buddy. I can't even move him. All right, let's see this thing. What is it?
Muskie?
Oh, what is it? Is it a muskie?
Oh,
Little
yeah.
lip bugs.
Look at that. Come on, baby.
Come on, baby.
Get him in there. Oh, I didn't want to horse him and let him break off. That is a big fish. Got him. Got him.
Oh, it's a big pike.
Yeah. You barely had him hooked.
Look at that. What a toad. Let me get him unhooked.
Oh man.
He's off. Just
Good
like
job.
that, he's off.
What a beautiful dog.
Hang on. Yeah, buddy. Wow. What a fight. Oh my goodness.
In this house, a good breakfast comes with good interruptions.
You'll never believe what some Minnesota folks are doing to keep themselves busy this winter. Laura Shera checks it out.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Minnesota Select GMC dealers. Connecticut. Seven Clans Casino. And by Starkey Hearing Technologies.
And they're off, right? Only proves Minnesotans still enjoy the snow. That was the start of the bear grease race on the North Shore. Dogs and mushers having lots of fun. Which brings up our next story. Laura Shera found a new winter sport, not using dogs, but using the wind.
Ever want to know what it's like to have wings and soar across the frozen landscape like a bird? Here's the deal. The wind is free, and I found Chad Dobson, a pure wind junkie, to show us how to fly.
Just the power of the wind, it's amazing. Every day, it's something different. On a busy day, you'll see 20, 30, 40 kites out here at a shot. And it's really beautiful to see just kites everywhere in the sky of every shape and color. You will have a lot more fun on a frozen lake than you will on any of the ski hills around here. You can be riding for hours and hours at a time. No chairlifts, no lines.
Okay, sounds great. No chairlifts, no lines, but I've not done this before.
100% of our students have been up and riding on day one over the last 3 winters. We focus a lot on a steady progression to get you from ground zero to up and riding.
Red left, blue right.
Yep. If I was to let this go and just give it a sharp tug, kite's going to fill up, and now it's going to go up to 12 o'clock. It's not a strength-intensive sport. Most people look at it and say you have to be, or do you have to be really strong? And the truth of it is, it's 80 to 90% technique.
Oh, crash! If technique is the name of the game, then the rule of thumb is to start small and go up from there. Where's the wind?
Even on your first day, you could be riding 2-3 hours at a shot.
Off I went, feeling like a bird. A nervous bird, but enjoying Mother Earth's delights. As someone once said, if you surrender to the wind, you can ride it. Did it! And so, I did. Woohoo!
Those aromatics kind of do their thing.
It's time to get cooking some of that venison in your freezer. Let's see how you can spice it up. That's next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by the Yard.
Time now to go wild in the kitchen. You know, game is good for you, so is fish. Let's see what Laura Shera has a-cooking.
Today we're getting wild in the kitchen, Italian style, and I'm here with Chef Jim Kinberg with Firelight Grill House and Cocktail Bar. And Jim, today we're making Grandma's Bolognese recipe.
Venison Bolognese, yes.
It sounds delicious. So this is a hand-me-down recipe, I hear.
Yeah, it's actually not my grandma, it's my sous chef's grandma. That recipe went out over my grandma's. I don't know how that happened, but great recipe nonetheless.
All right, what's on the ingredient list?
Straightforward. It starts with a good ground venison. We've got some chopped fresh tomatoes, some roasted red peppers. It's got a little bit of heat in there. There's some cayenne pepper, toasted fennel seeds, fresh garlic, shallots, herbs, and we finish it off with just a little bit of cream.
All right, let's get started.
Now venison is pretty lean, okay? So we're gonna start off with just a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the pan, and we're just gonna wanna put that meat in there and kind of break it up with your spoon. All right, so we've got our meat about halfway brown now, so we wanna kind of go to the second stage. So if you wanna toss in the shallots, the garlic, and the fennel seeds for me, you wanna cook this for another 3 to 4 minutes, just kind of soften it up. Let those aromatics kind of do their thing. It's almost like a perfume. Now we're gonna go to step 3, which is adding the wet ingredients. So we're gonna add our tomatoes. We have some roasted red pepper. And then we've got 2 ounces of cream, stirred occasionally. But this would be ready to eat in about 15 minutes. So we're gonna add our spices, starting off with that cayenne pepper.
Pinch of salt to the whole.
Put the whole thing in there. Fresh chopped herbs, a little parsley, a little oregano. So to finish this off, we've got some fresh pasta cooked here. We're just gonna add this right to the sauce. We're just gonna kind of coat, flavor, and warm up those noodles all at the same time. All right, so we got those noodles all placed in the bowl. Now we're just gonna spoon the rest of that sauce, the Bolognese, right over the top.
And the most important ingredient.
Parmesan cheese. What Bolognese would be complete without a nice little topping of some shaved Parmesan cheese?
Thank you, Chef Jim, for showing us Grandma's Bolognese recipe. It is so wildly delicious. And for those of you who may not have had such luck in the deer stand this fall, you can find the venison Bolognese right here at Fire Lake.
Hi, I'm Rob Drieslein, Managing Editor of the Outdoor News Publications. A lake in the metro area is serving as a living laboratory for University of Minnesota researchers studying ways to control the state's most destructive aquatic invasive species, the common carp. While Asian carp working their way up the Mississippi River grab headlines these days, it's the European or common carp that has been trashing water quality and fish and wildlife habitat for more than a century. Once a fine fishing lake, Starring Lake in Eden Prairie now has poor water quality thanks to a number of factors, including the aggressive rooting plant-feeding behavior of carp, which muddies up the water column. That in turn prevents growth of aquatic plants that provide good habitat for game fish and food for waterfowl. Fisheries managers have used a chemical called rotenone to poison common carp in other lakes, and that effort immediately improves water quality. Unfortunately, the carp usually rebound and the cycle just repeats. In the case of Starring Lake, the researchers have tried to prevent fish from reaching their spawning grounds and producing little carp, while also netting adult carp out of the lake. A commercial fishing crew has been netting the adult carp under Starring's ice for several years, including earlier this month. The lake already is showing some signs of better water clarity, and more northern pike, an important game fish, seem to be appearing in the nets this winter. All those pike, by the way, immediately go back into the lake. The researchers think that the lake may eventually reach a balance where game fish, like pike, keep carp under control and Starring reclaims its status as a sport fishing gem. If it works, Swanson and his team hope conclusions from Eden Prairie will help other communities improve lakes around the state and beyond. For complete coverage of the project at Starring Lake and other efforts to repel aquatic invasive species, read the print version of Outdoor News or check us out online at outdoornews.com. I'm Rob Drieslein.
Big John, Big John.
Coming up, an ice fishing adventure with a Minnesota legend. You know him as Mr. Walleye, but that's not what he's catching.
Beauty.
Isn't that a beauty?
Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Tracker Boats and by Rapala.
Time now for a Minnesota Bound Classic. I had the chance to go fishing with an old friend of mine, Gary Roach, otherwise known as Mr. Walleye. But on this day, we went after giant bluegills and giant crappies, and of course, Gary caught the first one.
In the world of Gary Roach, America's Mr. Walleye,
Come on, girls. Come on.
it's not always serious fishing. Sometimes Mr. Walleye simply likes to have fun with an old friend. And then
All right, well, I'm ready, finally.
go fishing to some secret hotspot. armed with fishing rods and a bucket, and plenty of optimism for every hole in the ice. Did you say optimism?
Got one. Nice crappie.
Oh, beauty.
Isn't that a beauty?
Yeah.
Look at that, huh? First cast, buddy.
Just magic.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that a beauty?
That's a dandy.
There's another one down there. We've been fishing here 3 seconds now, and I got another one on the bottom looking here.
On the ice or in a boat, wherever Gary Roach goes, Minnesota's game fish seem to go with him. And it runs in the family. Meet Tony Roach, a grandnephew, but a major branch in the Roach family fishing tree.
That's the thing, is roaches, we grow up fishing, so it just becomes a natural, you know. It's that desire, like Gary was saying, to go out. It's the hunt, it's the chase. That about sums it up. Either that or it can be described as the disease, that's all you think about.
If you're a roach, a symptom of the disease is catching a fish, any fish, and it never gets old.
See that little red mark? That's a fish right below. I got one. Oh, nice crappie.
Was that the fish that you saw up high?
Oh, nice crappie. Look at that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that dandy, huh?
Another fishing fact about Gary Roach, nobody is more competitive.
Got to talk to him. You got to talk to him, Ron.
Talk to him?
Talk him.
Okay. What do you say to him? You promise him anything?
Promise him? Whatever you can promise him. Oh, there's one right there. For fishing, I'm really patient, you know. Something goes wrong with a truck, probably I'm not as patient, you know. Patience is really a virtue that you have to have out there, and then you don't give up.
Oh, Gary!
What do you got?
Oh, mine's bigger than yours.
I figured you'd have to have a guide to put you on them.
I did.
Oh, nice one, man.
Isn't that a beauty?
He's looking. Come on, bluegill, one of them big ones. 11-inch bluegill. Those are dandies.
One advantage of hanging with the Roach family is the fishing luck can be contagious.
Fish on, fish on. Whoa, look at this guy. Whoa, look at that one, Gary.
Oh, no, that's a sunny. Huh?
That is a sunny.
That's a 10-incher right there. See?
Wow.
Look at that, huh?
Isn't that a beauty? Thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah, I love fishing with Gary. Gary's one of those guys that every time you go out fishing, you know, it's always a different experience. You know, he's always wants to go fishing, and that's like me. I wake up in the morning and you just look forward to going fishing.
Oh man, look at this one. My God, huh?
Those are beauties.
What's amazing is Gary and Tony typically offer baits no different from other anglers.
Right now they're hitting really light.
You're known as Mr. Walleye, but it seems to me you're as tickled catching a nice bluegill or a crappie. You know, people don't know that about you.
Well, we grew up on Mission Lake, you know, and it was just chock full of bluegills and crappies and bass and not many walleyes. I love eating fish, and to me a bluegill and a perch and a crappie, to me, are just as good eating as anything, you know.
But one secret of their success is being mobile. Drill lots of holes and test each one.
Ooh, I got myself a big old bluegill.
All right.
Oh, look at this guy, Gary.
Oh man, huh?
Huh?
Hang on. Hang on, I'll get a photo. Oh, beauty. That's a good 10, 11-incher right there.
So it goes with Mr. Walleye. Where he goes, the fish all seem to follow.
There's one. Oh, missed him. Ah.
Truly, if there ever was a fishing legend in Minnesota, it's Mr. Gary Roach, Mr. Walleye. Well, that about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors. I'm Ron Sharon. Of course, always the star of the show, not so much into fishing, is Raven.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com.